Welcome once again, my friends, to It's Vinylly Mine and our vinyl countdown. Yes, I figured, hey, since we looked at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 1 soundtrack, why not look at Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2, the Deluxe Vinyl Edition? And so here we have that, and I saved this one to unwrap, especially for all of you out there. Now, this is Hollywood Records put out as well. This is D002583401, put out August 11th, 2017. Copyright Marvel and United Record Pressing did the pressing. Now, what's interesting, and this isn't a pre-order, but the first 300 pre-orders through the Disney Emporium came with a limited 12 by 12 numbered poster. Unfortunately, no, this isn't it. I picked this up elsewhere. But enough of that. Let's drop the needle and take a look at this soundtrack, shall we? All right. So I love that it's a different approach here with this one as far as the color scheme that we had on the first one, but it also has this worn look to it, right? So let's take the plastic off and get a little bit closer look at it. So we get the back blade going on here and not try to, as always, let's take this plastic off so we can get even better look at this album cover. So there we go. And yep, no, that isn't damage from the packaging. That is them giving it that retro old record feel to it. Yeah, and I think they accomplished that very well. It's supposed to look worn. That is part of the design pattern. And again, we have songs from the motion picture as well as Tyler Bates' score. Once again, he came back for the score. We got the Marvel Studios logo at the top. You can tell they went a little bit more with including some of the things from the movie in here. And yes, our crew, once again, with an added couple of characters on here that we didn't have in the first film. Well, at least on the cover. So yeah, I dig the cover quite a bit. Still has the retro look, but giving it a separate and its own identity versus just being a duplication of what they did with the first soundtrack release. So we'll look at the spine. I think the spine is done very well on this one. And on the back, much like the other one, they kept things pretty basic here as far as this goes with the design. Again, though, we've got that worn look to it. We do have the vocal soundtracks, tracks, the vocal tracks on here. And then we have the Tyler Bates score on here as well. Though it looks like they did have to kind of carry over a couple of the songs, including that wonderful Guardian Inferno song that played at the end credits. I can't wait to listen to that here on vinyl. So we've got those. We've got the asterisk here of ones that were not featured in the film. And so that would be Fox on the Run by Sweet was actually not in the film, but it is here on the soundtrack. It looks like that would be the only one listed here that is not on that was not in the film. And of course, like before, we have the credits for the album, credits for the movie, and our Hollywood Records Marvel logo. So let's take a look at the gatefold. Oh, check that out. Again, I have not seen this before now, and man, I dig this. Yeah, well, retro media I do love, and the fact they captured it. This looks like some of the tapes that I have in my collection. So this is an awesome mix, volume 2. And yeah, we've got the characters in here each have their own mixtape, which yeah, I love that. I love it. I want a poster of just this. In all honesty. So again, we have the track listing on the left here with the credits and who licensed the music. So that is very cool. And of course, the track listing for Tyler Bates tracks. And then on the right is all the credits, who they really went all out for and listed a lot of people here for that. And the album design was by Any Jew, you did a fantastic job. I love the design of this album. Now, let's take a look at the vinyl inside. Oh, look at this. They went a little bit more stylish with the label this time around, giving it the old beaten look, just to fit like we have for the album cover itself. So I do like that with the track listing. So yes, this is the one for the vocal soundtracks, tracks, excuse me, obviously. And then on the other side, we will have Tyler Bates' score, and again, more of the same worn logo, label logo style that we have on the cover here. So instead of the alternate colors like they did on the first one, they kind of just went similar style, but also giving it an all overall retro feel, which I do love. So again, I am going to go listen to this pressing, and when I come back, I'll let you know my favorite tracks from the score, as well as my favorite vocal track of the collection that they have here, and a little bit more details on the soundtrack. So stay tuned. Hey everyone, you want to help us decide what we review here on It's Vinylly Mine? Then head on over to www.patreon.com/SpecialMarkProductions. It's our Patreon page where we have 3 great tiers for you to join. If you join our top tier, you get early access to all the videos we post on YouTube. Plus, you get to participate in a poll to decide on what we review on It's Vinylly Mine, and you get a poll to decide what the VIP episode will be for the month exclusively for our patrons. We got a lot of great content there, so head on over there and we hope to see you soon. And we are back, everyone. Thank you so much for sticking in here as we continue our look at the Guardians of the Galaxy Deluxe LP edition of Volume 2. Now, this is a great soundtrack, both the vocals and the orchestral score. And in fact, I have to agree with a James Gunn statement that he made saying that this soundtrack was actually better than the first one. And you know what? I kind of actually have to agree with him. Tyler Bates has really refined the score quite a bit and found his legs underneath, and it's really got a little bit more of a more mature feel to it, if you will. And the vocal soundtrack that James Gunn put together really is fantastic. Now, Skip Hayes for his song Lakeshore Drive, a lot of Haynes, Jeremiah, Skip Haynes, he was so thrilled that James Gunn actually picked this track because it was a hit in the Midwest, which is where Gunn grew up. Woo-hoo, Midwest represent. That he actually recorded a new version to work in James Gunn's name into the chorus. So I found that very fascinating. It was released on cassette as well as when the vinyl was released, and it was certified gold by the Recording Industry Association of America. When it debuted on the Billboard 200, it debuted at number 8, and it sold within its first week like 34,000 units, traditionally the way vinyl is normally sold. Now, I love Guardians Inferno. Such a great track. So much fun. Having David Hasselhoff on there just adds to that extra retro feel of the song. But for me, out of all of these wonderful vocal tracks, it's still personal to me. Mr. Blue Sky by the Electric Light Orchestra. I love that track. I love that they had that open the movie. And apparently James Gunn had to fight for it extra hard to appeal to Jeff Lynne to get it, since Jeff Lynne had approved a track that didn't make it into the first soundtrack. So James Gunn really fought for it, but it was so perfect, and I love that song so much. So still a great compilation of vocal and orchestral tracks, folks. Definitely pick it up if you're a fan. Track 3 on side 2, the Ego score. Wow, just amazing. That I so enjoyed. And Mary Poppins and the Rat score part as well. Both of those beautiful tracks in here that really stood out to me overall, but it's still a solid score in general. So yeah, there you have it, folks. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 Deluxe Vinyl Edition is a worthy not only release for the film, but an improved release over the first one. Sound quality as well was a lot better in this pressing and this recording than it was in the first one. It was richer. It had a cleaner sound to it. There was more separation in music, in instruments, and yeah, I actually like the quality of this one better than the first one, though the first one was no slouch either. So there you have it, folks. Thank you so much for watching. As always, we are counting it down. We got 3 more It's Vinyl countdown episodes coming up that I hope you'll enjoy. Please subscribe if you haven't already, thumbs up and all that here onto YouTube, and check out our Patreon if you want to have a say in what we review here on It's Vinylly Mine. Because remember, it's not yours, it's vinylly mine, and I'll catch you on the flip side.